You're listening to the Folk Rock Show on WRSU. It's now time to turn to our interview with Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson is the prime musical force behind Jethro Tull, creating the group's characteristic sound from his flute and vocals, mixing hard rock with folk melodies. Ian is known as the group's wild man by his stage antics and the signature playing of his flute while standing on one leg. Ian will be touring our area in late October, early November, playing a program of new material and classic Jethro Tull songs. In the interview you are about to hear, another radio station is identified. That station is 99.7 BHX, a radio station I owned at the time of this interview. When artists were touring or promoting a new book or CD, we sometimes had an opportunity to speak with them. This interview was one of them.
99.7 BHX, the Shore's Classic Rock Radio on in the morning, classic rock all day. And on the line, believe it or not, is Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm feeling absolutely terrible, Ron. I just flew into New York yesterday, and I'm jet-lagged beyond comprehension. I had to wake up at 6:30 this morning and start doing radio, so I'm feeling terrible. But the sound of your voice and the confidence, the energy that you just ooze is going to bring me around. I feel by the time our 10 minutes is up, I'm going to be raging. I'm going to be great.
Well, there's a couple of things about me you like. Number one, you actually listen to what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And number two, I happen to know a thing or two about Jethro Tull.
Aha, well, that's bad news for me, because you're going to catch me out at every twist and turn.
I want to know, before we get into the big push, did you actually do a record one time under the name of Jethro Tull?
Yeah.
Called Sunshine Day?
It was a little strange because we had made some demos for a producer in London before Jethro Tull began. And when Jethro Tull began to create a little interest right at the beginning of our career, but before we had a record deal, this producer remembered he had some demos from the year before, and he released them. And he released them under the name Jethro Tull, and we weren't sure whether it was a misprint or whether it was his way of trying to avoid litigation. But at any rate, it wasn't too much of a problem, because I think the record, although it actually did very well, it sold, I think it sold probably at least 49 out of the 50 copies they printed. It neither harmed us nor helped us. It was just, it literally was just some demos we made. But you still find it on the collector's market, you know, the original Sunshine Day with, I think, a song called Airplane on the B-side by Jethro Tull.
Yeah, these days today are a long way from your days appearing at the Marquee Club, huh?
That's right. Well, it could have been worse, because this same producer, when we first went in the studio with him the year before, he wanted to call us Candy-Colored Rain.
Oh.
So, you know, Jethro Tull, I think, definitely was the better choice. But we were, in fact, of course, Jethro Tull, and Jethro Tull was a name that I thought, well, you know, it's quite an interesting name for a band. I didn't realize, not being a history student, that in fact our agent had just named us after a dead guy. So with names, we didn't have a lot of success in those early days. You know?
Well, the Jethro Tull was a farmer inventor type from the 18th century, wasn't he?
He was indeed, but
yeah.
I didn't know that, because I didn't do history at school.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can tell you a lot about Jethro Tull if you want to know.
Well, I've tried to swat up on it since then. I think I know quite a lot about the old Jethro guy, but it's not. Tull is a good name. I like Tull. Tull sounds strong. Tull is a tough name. You know, Tull could be the name of the evil Dr. Tull from the next James Bond movie or something. But it's the Jethro bit I have the problem with. It. Jethro sounds, you know, some kind of hillbilly bumpkin kind of, you know, good-natured, not very bright kind of guy, which, of course, just sums me up perfectly.
Well, there's no way of getting around it now. You're definitely a household name when it comes to rock and roll. You are going to be opening up at Philadelphia's Academy of Music, and we're real excited to be able to be one of the first stations, at least at the Shore here, to have you on here on the air, and not only that, be able to push that, and also what you're doing with the company Fuel 2000.
Well, you know, you probably won't ever understand how excited we are when it's the first date of a new concert tour, because we haven't played together for 3 months.
Right.
It is so exciting. There's that first moment you get back on stage together, and you know, that machinery clicks into place. There's a little uncertainty and a little tension, because maybe there's some new songs, new arrangements, and things you have to know about. But you know, it is always exciting. I'm you know, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. I shall be buzzing. I'll be a really happy guy.
how important do you think it is, besides the jamming and kind of spreading out a little bit, but how important do you think it is for the concert goer to pretty much get the sound that they're used to on the CD or vinyl album?
I think it's important to give them some of that, but I think it's also important not to just try and create a note-for-note, sound-for-sound replica of your greatest hits. I think it's nice when a few songs don't so obviously resemble the original recording. So, we try and make a point of changing some of the music around, doing something radically different with the arrangement. So there's a little mix and balance there. Some songs we play like the original version, some songs we do something new with it. So people who've seen us play, Living in the Past many times over the years, will hear us for the next few weeks at least doing a completely different arrangement of Living in the Past, which, whilst it still contains, most of the elements of the tune, it does different stuff. It's like, that's part of the fun for us and for the audience. But, we wouldn't do that all the time through every song, just as we wouldn't play every song just the same as the record. You mix it up a little, keep it interesting.
Ian, you're a showman. I mean, you're not afraid of the audiences at all, are you?
I'm not usually afraid of the audiences. No, I sometimes I get a little nervous of them if it's a very small venue. I'm not very good at playing to small crowds. Or, if you ask me to be your best man at a wedding, I'm just going to go to pieces. I can't deal with having to get up and talk to small groups of people. I'm very, very nervous. But if it's thousands of people, I'm okay. And I don't understand why. But the more people there are, the easier it is.
Yeah, I guess it's more mulling around. You kind of like that instead of 100 people. You like 100,000 people. Now let's talk about the CD and DVD, Living in the Past. There's some rare things and rare moments on the DVD, isn't there?
Yeah, we try to mix it up with both of those pieces of product. The DVD comes out around the 14th of May. The CD is released next week, and although they're centered on a particular live concert that took place in London in November last year, both of them contain other bits of live material from different venues, different occasions, and there are 7 songs on the CD that don't feature on the DVD. So for people buying both, they get some different stuff.
And you could find out all about it on the webpage fuel2000.com. I was there this morning, and looks like a cool record company. Are you happy with them?
Oh yeah, they're a very cool record company because they have the coolest record company president that you've ever seen. I mean, he just looks like a movie star. You can't believe he's just a record company guy. He's very very sexy, always impeccably dressed, and he's just on the other side of the window here, preening himself and thinking, I guess I'm going to have to buy Ian lunch now.
Oh, what's his name?
His name is Leonardo D'Afico.
Really?
Yeah, Len to his friends.
Len, well, maybe someday we'll meet him. We could get to call him Len. He'd probably charge us money to call him Len, though, right?
Yeah, that's a fair bet, but give it a try anyway.
Okay, hey, we're on the phone with Ian Anderson. There's so many questions. I have such little time. I wanted to ask you about the song Aqua Lung. Was this written by you?
Well, most of it was written by me. The music was written by me. My first wife wrote some of the lyrics, and hence she's included in the publishing details of that song. And although we parted company many, many years ago, she still gets a little check twice a year for her contribution for the song lyrics. And it's a nice way of saying goodbye.
Okay. Hey, Ian Anderson is coming everywhere. He's coming to record stores with the brand new release and CD and DVD, Living in the Past. He's coming to a concert venue near you and everywhere. Jethro Tull is going to be on with his bright, crisp, brand new sound. Every time he gets on stage, it's almost like it's the beginning back in '67. It's amazing.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Only the underpants are a size larger.
Okay, Ian, thanks for your time.
It's a pleasure. Good to speak to you, Ron. And that's Living with the Past, by the way, not Living in the Past.
I'll edit it.
That was the old one.
Well, we're recorded. I'll fix it up for you.
Okay, fantastic.
Can I get you to do a liner for me?
If it's very quick, yeah, because we're over time for the next one here. But, fire it at me.
Just hi, this is Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, and we're rocking on 99.7 BHX.
99.7 BHX.
Right.
Right, okay. Hi, this is Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull, and we're rocking on 99.7 BHX.
You've been listening to an interview with Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, originally broadcast over 99.7 BHX. Ron Secure produced and conducted the interview. Ian Anderson will be touring our area soon. he has announced dates at the Sands in Bethlehem on October 26th, at the Count Basie Theater on November 7th, and at the Wellmont Theater on November 10th. You're listening to the Folk Rock Show on WRSU. Here now are two classics from Jethro Tull.